The Lydians are credited by ancient sources, including Herodotus, with inventing coinage. Herodotus was a Greek historian writing in the 5th century BC, and his accounts provide crucial early testimony about their origin. The invention is generally believed to have occurred in the late 7th century BC. This places the development squarely within the archaic period of ancient history. The first coins were made from electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver. This material was readily available from the Pactolus River that flowed through the Lydian capital. The earliest forms of these coins were not standardized in shape, appearing as simple, irregular lumps or dumps of metal. This rudimentary form meant their value relied solely on the weight of the metal. These early electrum dumps were stamped on only one side, typically with a simple striated or lined pattern. The reverse side usually had 2 square incuse marks, or punches, resulting from the minting process. The stamps initially served as a guarantee of the metal's weight and purity by a trusted authority. This assurance was essential for facilitating commerce and ensuring fair exchange. The authority guaranteeing the weight was initially the local government, or possibly a powerful merchant guild. This institutional backing gave buyers and sellers confidence in the value of the coin. The Lydian capital city was Sardis, located in modern-day Western Turkey. Archaeological excavations at Sardis have unearthed significant evidence of early coinage production. The Lydians likely began using coinage to pay mercenary soldiers rather than for everyday small transactions. Paying a standardized value in metal was more efficient than weighing out raw precious metal every time. The first royal ruler to issue coins with a clear royal emblem was likely King Croesus of Lydia. His coins often featured a roaring lion's head as the prominent symbol. The lion's head was an emblem of the Mermnad dynasty that ruled Lydia. This symbol identified the coins as being issued under his royal authority and guarantee. The Lydians transitioned from using plain metal dumps to clearly stamped, recognizable coins over a period of time. This evolution moved coinage from mere weighed bullion to a formal currency system. King Croesus, son of Croesus, is famous for introducing a bimetallic system using both pure gold and pure silver coins. This improved system replaced the use of electrum as the primary metal. Croesus gold coins were called crosids, and they had a standardized weight and purity. These coins became a widely accepted form of international currency in the ancient world. The bimetallic system allowed for more precise monetary transactions and a clearer understanding of value. It made large and small purchases more manageable and consistent. The transition from electrum to pure metals required the Lydians to develop techniques for refining gold and silver. This technological advancement was crucial for standardizing the new coinage. The invention helped boost the Lydian economy, which became one of the wealthiest in the ancient world. Their financial power was legendary, leading to the phrase "as rich as Croesus." The Lydian invention fundamentally changed trade from barter to a monetary economy. It created a more fluid and efficient system for exchanging goods and services. The concept of using small, portable, and guaranteed tokens of value spread rapidly throughout the Greek world and the Mediterranean. The convenience of coins ensured their widespread adoption. The Greek cities of Ionia were quick to adopt and develop their own coinage systems based on the Lydian model. Proximity and trade relationships facilitated this rapid diffusion of the idea. The Lydian coins were initially known as staters. This was a term generally used in the ancient world for a standard unit of weight or value. Fractions of the stater, such as hemi-half and trite-third, were also produced for smaller transactions. This allowed for a more flexible and practical currency system. The minting process involved placing a pre-weighed lump of metal on an anvil and obverse die and striking it with a punch, a reverse die using a hammer. This manual process was labor-intensive but effective for its time. The weight standard used by the Lydians was known as the Lydian or Milesian standard. This specific weight system was adopted by many other regions in the ancient world. The Lydian coinage system provided a stable medium of exchange for the first time in history. This stability reduced uncertainty in commercial interactions and promoted long-distance trade. The invention of coinage is considered one of the most important developments in economic history. It provided the foundation for modern money systems we use today. The Lydian coins bore images of animals other than the lion, though the lion was most common. This visual identification was important for illiterate populations to recognize the source and value. The Pactolus River was crucial to Lydian wealth because it contained significant deposits of electrum. The natural resources of their region directly enabled the invention of coinage. Archaeological evidence at Sardis includes crucibles and molds used for refining and casting the metal blanks. These artifacts confirm that minting was conducted in the capital city. The Lydian invention likely originated out of a practical need for a more efficient method of royal finance and tax collection. Standardized currency simplified the process of collecting revenue. The Lydian system of coinage made their kingdom very powerful economically and politically. Their wealth allowed them to maintain a strong military and extensive influence. The Lydian invention did not use any form of writing on the earliest coins. The symbols alone conveyed all the necessary information about the coin's origin and value. The purity of Croesus gold coins was remarkably high, often exceeding 98%. This high purity increased their desirability and trustworthiness as currency across different cultures. The spread of Lydian coinage facilitated the development of banking practices in the ancient world. Merchants needed ways to store, exchange, and value large amounts of different types of currency. The Lydian invention marked a transition from a gift economy or simple barter to a more complex market economy. It allowed for price mechanisms to develop based on supply and demand. The Lydians were heavily involved in trade with the Greek world and the Near East. Their commercial ties ensured the rapid dissemination of their coinage technology and currency. The last king of Lydia, Croesus, was eventually defeated by the Persian Empire under Cyrus the Great. The Persians adopted and continued using the Lydian coinage system. The Persian Empire minted its own version of the Lydian coin known as the daric, a gold coin, and the silver siglos. This shows the lasting impact and effectiveness of the Lydian idea. The Lydian coins were struck using a standard known as the agenetic standard in some regions. This standard determined the consistent weight of each coin, which was key to its value. The invention of coinage helped to standardize economic transactions across different cultures with different languages. A coin's value was immediately understandable, regardless of language barriers. The first coins essentially represented money in the modern sense, a durable, portable, divisible, uniform, and limited medium of exchange. It fulfilled all the core functions of money. The Lydian coins were initially a state monopoly, with only the royal authority permitted to mint them. This control allowed the state to manage the money supply and maintain trust. The Lydian invention challenged and eventually replaced older forms of money, such as commodity money, like livestock or weight hack silver. Coins were much more convenient and reliable. The Lydian method of minting coins influenced the methods used by the Greeks and Romans for centuries. The basic hammerandi process remained in use until the Renaissance. The Lydian kings understood the psychological importance of having royal imagery on their coins. The clear visual stamp reinforced the power and legitimacy of the monarchy. The Lydian invention is well documented in contemporary texts, though some details about the very first issues remain debated among historians. Archaeological findings help fill in the gaps in written records. The Lydian innovation was not a single event, but a gradual process of development and refinement over several decades. It evolved from rough lumps to sophisticated, standardized coins. The Lydians kept the minting technology relatively simple, making it easy to replicate the production process elsewhere once the idea spread. Simplicity allowed for rapid adoption across the ancient world. The Lydian invention of coinage fundamentally altered the scale and scope of warfare, politics, and social structures. It created the financial means for states to fund large projects and armies without relying solely on plunder or tribute. The Lydian invention is considered the origin point for all subsequent Western coinage systems. The legacy of their innovation is still evident in the money we use today.